Hey, wrestling fans, Wild Man West here with another episode of Adventures in Bearland. I know they're far and few between, but we're doing the best we can to keep everybody up to date, especially with the unbelievably enormous growth on the NWCA page, the main page of our group 5 groups of wrestling history. Phenomenal growth over the last little while. I know we've gotten some letters from Rob Fuego on Dave's history, and I have quite a few letters here. I just want to quickly run over some of the stuff that he's given to me. I do have a list here dated August 5th, and I presume this is 1936, and this is a letter from a lawyer going to the matron at the Orange home where Dave and his brother were sent by their father when he went back to England. And this says, Dear sirs, will you please send me the passports for these two boys? They expect to go to Scotland with their father and are expected to return to Canada again. He was in the Navy all during the last war. They have been in our home and under our care for the last 10 years. Their names are John James McKegney, born September 1st in Toronto, 1930, and George David McKegney, June 9th in Toronto, 1932. And this letter goes on to tell their parents, father is John James McKegney, born June 2nd, 1901 in Caledon in Northern Ireland, and the mother is Mary McMullen Huntley, and she's from Aberdeenshire in Scotland, and by this time she had passed. The grandparents were James McKegney, born in Caledon, Northern Ireland, and his wife was Jeannie Falls, born in Caledon, Northern Ireland also. And the grandparents are David McMillan, born in Huntly, Scotland, and Mary Murray, born in Fife Keith in Banffshire, Scotland. So that's a quick look at his parents, grandparents, on both sides. And it's kind of weird to think about these boys being in an orphanage for 10 years, but the father went to Scotland, back to England, and fell on hard times and was in the Navy, obviously during World War II. And he spent 3 years, I think, in the Navy, then was let out for health reasons. And some of these letters give the impression that he had a hard time coping with life skills, and enough said. This letter is from George McMillan, who owned a cartage trucking company in Toronto. There still is a McMillan cartage company in Toronto, and they were near the old CBC building in downtown Toronto, near Jarvis Street, where Dave had the gym. And in the book Drawing Heat, Dave used to work at the CBC and at his Uncle George McMillan. As you can see, there's a McMillan on his grandparents' side, so it's his Uncle George. He hired them, Dave, to work on the dock, I would imagine, and drive trucks probably for a short time while he was owning the gym. And that was, of course, the gym that burnt down, and then the Waldo Von Erich, Mikhail Cicluna, and Gito Mongol, they all took their show on the road and started making the money and the promoting. That was approximately 1957. So Dave would have been born in 32, 57 would have been 17 years old, 16, 17, 18 years old. So he started really early, which is kind of strange. Some more letters here from the home, the Loyal True Blue Orange home. It is strictly against the rules of the home to permit children under our care out of the home without one of our supervisors with them. But your case is a very different one to what we usually handle. So we will give you permission to call for the two boys, Jackie and Dave, next Sunday, February 28th, near 10 o'clock, as you can make it. And they must be returned to the home by 4:30 p.m. I trust that you will not take them to any home where there is sickness, as we presently have no flu stall and want to take special care that we do not run into any danger. So this is the time frame of the 1937, and and they were in an orphanage, and the orphanage is just asking this George McMillan, who's Dave's uncle, to he can take them out for the day, but not to take them anywhere there's sickness. And then a letter from George McMillan to the matron. I'm writing you in regards of my nephews who were in your care, namely Jack and David McKigney. I understand that their father had sent for them a number of years ago. Last week I had a letter from Scotland, which leads me to believe otherwise. If they are still in your care, I would like to call and see them, or should they be somewhere else, I would appreciate if you could forward their address. Obligingly, yours very truly, George McMillan. So there's another letter from George and the matron, who would have kept up correspondence with family members, etc., at the orphanage. This is a letter going to Dave's dad from the orphanage. Received a letter today, so please know that you're well. The boys are well and having a grand time in the snow and skating every day. We had a very enjoyable Christmas time with 2 Christmas trees and lots of good things for both children and staff. You say you will send a few dollars later on for the boys now. Do not bother for a while, as they are not in any need for anything for some time. And if they are, I will get it for them. I will send on the postal note to Mr. Carey at once, and I will send you a list of what the boys received for Christmas. I think they did very well. Mr. McMillan came to see the boys, George, that is, Dave's uncle, see the boys before Christmas, and brought Jack a pair of skates and boots, and David a hockey stick and a puck and the roll of tape for the hockey stick, and a set of hockey pads. I gave them from you, Jack, a set of pajamas, plaid shirt, stockings, comb and case, stamp book and stamp sketchbook, and a watercolor paint and brush, hockey sweater, and hockey pants. David had a plaid shirt, hockey sweater, stocking, pajamas, toy jeep, airplane, scrapbook, glue, stamp book and stamps, and a storybook. 2 ties, 2 print shirts, 1 card. I put a card on from Dad. I think they did very well for you. I hope I am getting more tubes of paint for Jack, as he just loves to paint. He made me a very lovely Christmas card. He also sent one to his grandmother in Scotland. I hope you receive this before you leave Halifax. Yours sincerely, Zed Free is the matron's name. So these letters all lead us to believe that eventually Dave's father was able to take them back to Scotland after years in the orphanage, not reciprocating very much monetarily wise, or so it would seem in the letters. And then Dave grew up too fast and probably just could not take it. And both boys ended up coming back to Toronto, and Dave then moved on to the trucking company and the CBC building and the gym. His brother, unfortunately, Dave always said that his brother was a ne'er-do-well and lived a different life. So that's enough said about that. Some of these letters are just absolutely fascinating. I'm trying to still put pieces of them together. They're dated, and some of them don't have years on them. So, but if Dave Jr. or Carrie, if you would like something, some of these, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. We're starting up some more episodes of Adventures in Bearland. I'm going to be talking about Terrible Ted. Going to be talking about Dave's time in the UK, and we still haven't found anything when he supposedly wrestled in Germany, but we do have lots of dates in 1954 that we're going to be showing on the Wild Man page. So let's keep the faith, keep going. Don't forget, we've got subscribe, like, share, please and thank you. And don't forget to tell your friends about the Wild Man page. It's one of our oldest pages, and it's my favorite, of course. That's that National Wrestling Clippings Alliance page, the Ontario Wrestling History page, Ric Flair page, British Columbia page, and of course the Wild Man tribute page here, all on the National Wrestling Clippings Alliance umbrella. For Adventures in Bearland, I'm Wildman West, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Take it easy.